Inhale and lift your torso forward and up to an upward-facing dog position. Your thighs are off the floor and your arms are completely straight. Your heart is directed forward and your shoulders are pointed back. This pose activates the heart pulse zone greatly. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale forward to a plank pose, bodies in one straight line. Exhale, bend your elbows straight back to a low push-up. And finally, lower all the way down to the floor. Extend your arms next to your body. Inhale and lift everything off the floor except for your pelvis. Palms are facing each other and legs are together. Visualize a warm green light in your heart pulse zone and have no fear as you move deeper into this pose. Lift up higher. On the exhalation, keep your torso where it is, but lower your legs down. Feet are next to each other and tops of the feet are on the ground. Interlace your fingers behind you and pushing your legs into the floor, lift your torso up higher. Lift your hands off your body. Direct your warm, loving, fearless heart forward towards the future. Breathe deeply. And release everything down. Arms are next to your body. Place your right cheek on the ground and wiggle your hips from side to side, releasing the tension from the lower back. Bend your knees. If you can, grab a hold of your ankles. If you can't, place your ankles into the loop of the yoga belt and extending the arms next to your body, grab the other end of the belt. Walk your fingertips towards your toes as you lift up higher. If you are holding your ankles, simply lift up. Look straight ahead and breathe. Shift your weight to the front part of your stomach. Lift up. Go for your maximum. Fiercely move your heart pulse zone towards the front. Breathe. Exhale and lower everything down. Release your belt or your ankles. Place your left cheek on the ground and wiggle your hips from side to side. Turn over to lie down on your back. Bend your knees, placing both feet next to your hips. Feet are parallel to each other and hip width apart. Lift your head up for a second and see if your torso is straight. If it isn't, adjust it. Activate your pulse line, placing weight into your big toes and making sure the knees are pointed straight forward. On the inhalation, lift your hips and your torso up. Walk your shoulder blades underneath you towards each other and interlace your fingers under your body. Lift your chest up to meet with your chin. Hold and breathe. Make sure your thighs are parallel to each other. Keep lifting your hips up. This pose, called bridge pose, stretches the chest, the neck, and the spine. It calms the brain and helps to alleviate stress. It stimulates the abdominal organs, the lungs, and the thyroid, as it improves digestion. It also helps to relieve the symptoms of menopause and reduces anxiety, fatigue, backache, headache, and insomnia. Exhale and lower your hips down. Separate your feet mat-width apart, taking your knees together, and extend your arms alongside your ears on the floor. Interlace your fingers and stretch your spine, pushing the lower back into the mat. We're going to do the bridge pose one more time. This time you can do the pose with the help of the block. Make sure that your feet are parallel to each other and near your hips. Be aware of the pulse line, activating it by placing weight on the inner edges of the feet. Inhale and lift your hips and torso up. Lift up on your toe tips. Place the block on its medium-high position directly under your sacrum, which is a big flat bone under your lower back. and lower your feet to the ground. Relax your body weight on the block, interlacing the fingers underneath you and around the block. It should feel great. If it doesn't, it means you should move the block to the point where it feels comfortable. Inhale and lift up on your toe tips. Move the block to the side and lower down on your feet. Separate your feet mat width apart while taking your knees together. It releases the lower back. Extend your arms next to your ears, interlacing the fingers. If you are very flexible, you should consider going for a full wheel pose. Otherwise, lift up to another bridge, with or without the block. If you are doing the full wheel, you would need to place your palms under your shoulders and eventually lift up on the top of your head only. While you are on top of your head, direct your elbows to point straight back and your shoulder blades towards the back. This move opens the heart zone. Keeping your heart zone open, inhale and straighten your arms. Push through your arms and legs. Keep pushing on the inner edges of your feet, keeping the feet parallel. This pose opens the front of the body and the shoulders. It strengthens the buttocks, the leg, and the back muscles tremendously. Keeping the pose, visualize a bright green light in your heart pulse zone. Imagine this light spreading through your whole body, your arms and legs, and going into the earth. Move into this glorious deep back bend with no fear. Mentally affirm yourself of that, repeating, I have no fear. And release down. Hug your knees into the chest. Give them a big squeeze, directing your lower back as well as your neck and your shoulders towards the ground. Feel the pulsation of the zones alongside the spine. Separate your feet. Keeping the knees strongly bent, grab a hold of the outsides of the feet and direct your knees towards your armpits. Make sure your head is on the ground, and if it isn't, place a towel underneath it. This position stretches the inner hip flexors as well as the lower back. Keep spreading your collarbones away from each other, opening the heart. And hug your knees into the chest. Both knees are together.